Just a quick follow-up. Your old boss, Ronald Reagan, I believe in 1980, when he was unable to get Carter to debate at one point, actually challenged John Anderson, the independent, to a debate, saying, well, if I can't debate the president, I will just debate whatever ruling candidate is willing to debate me. Would you be willing to debate Governor Romer or Governor Johnson in a debate amongst the candidates who've been excluded from the process?
Yeah, there's been some talk and some invitations. Absolutely. I have appeared with those gentlemen and others, from that first year, the debaters now. I've been on, many a platform with them. So no, I think that's very healthy. I want to do that. We have different ideas. I think it's important that the public gets the right to know. Today, actually, I'm kicking off something because of this unfairness. The state of Florida, to me, is guilty of really mucking up this election. For whatever reason, they thought they could move their primary from March, presumably March 6th, to January 31st. And their plan was to get ahead of New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina, and Nevada. And they were for about a minute. Well, as soon as that happened, just like it did 4 years ago, the other four states announced they were going to move their primaries and caucuses up. So what did Florida accomplish? What did they do? They moved everything up by 5 weeks now. So tomorrow, New Hampshire is going to determine probably that it's going January 10th. Iowa is January 3rd. There was some fear until Nevada moved its caucus to February that the New Hampshire was going to be in December, early December. So what that has done, what Florida has done, is deny the voters in these states and the American public the opportunity to get to know everybody except Mitt Romney. He's the beneficiary of this. We know his campaign was behind the Nevada move up because he wants to wrap this thing up by January 31st. So today I'm actually following through on a campaign pledge, which of course a lot of candidates don't. I announced on the 19th of October that I gave Florida till November 1st today to either move its primary back to March or face the consequences, which I said would be a boycott of Florida orange juice, just orange juice grown in Florida. And I'm doing that kind of hearkening back to 1978 when Anita Bryant, some of you may remember or heard about, she was the spokeswoman for Florida Citrus Orange Juice, and she led the fight against gay civil rights in this country. And there are a lot of unhappy people after that. Ronald Reagan was a true hero of the gay community and came to our rescue in 1978 on a ballot proposition in California. And it went down thanks to him to ban gay teachers in all our schools, which had been ahead until he came out and opposed it. So we stood up to Florida Citrus before. They got rid of her as the spokesperson. She lost a lot of her ability to sell, which was she was doing for savings and loan company and others. And so we're harkening back to that. I'm asking everyone around this country to not drink orange juice for 30 days. This is a November boycott. It's a 1-month boycott. I'm hopeful that Florida will do the right thing. If they don't, there are consequences. And I've done 4 boycotts in my gay activism, and I think it's an important tool and something we should use cautiously, but to make change.
Just have a couple quick follow-ups, but it connects with what you were just saying. There are a lot of people in the country who admire the fight that you brought to civil rights and gay rights, but a lot of times people are so concerned with what's going on in their own lives and the economy that sometimes social issues take the back seat. What would you say to the average, middle-class straight couple in the Midwest? Why should they be as concerned with the causes that you've been an activist for as you are? Why is it important for all of us?
Well, if you go back to our Constitution, all men were created equal, and that's all people are created equal. And I grew up in a very different time. There was no word gay. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I knew I was different. I had terrible self-esteem. I knew that it was going to be very tough for me, and there were no role models. There was nothing. There was no support network. Well, fortunately now things have changed, but we still see all too often suicides of teenagers who happen to be gay or lesbian or bisexual or transgender. The cruelty going on in the schools, the bullying. There's so much difficulty as these young people come to realization with their sexuality and try and come out and are murdered or beaten up or teased and tortured and bullied. And that is not America. That is not what this country is about. We are diverse. We welcome everyone. Obviously, there's still a lot of hatred in this country, and one of the things I'm doing as I campaign for President of the United States, as the first out-gay person to do so in history, is to talk about that issue, to reach out to younger people, to tell them, and anyone who thinks that he or she might be a little different, you can do anything you want to do. Nothing holds you back. Do not think of yourself as less than your brother or your sister. You can do anything you can run for President of the United States. So to everyone out there, I think it's important, that we embrace people who are different. And, I understand that's not an easy fix. There's a lot of prejudice in this country. We need to get past that for the good of the country. And it's one of the issues that I will continue to talk about as long as I can until there is equality for all LGBT people in this country.
That's the end of the questions. We'd just like to open up if you'd like to just say a few words in conclusion.
All right. Well, thanks. This is an historic day for me. It's November 1st, 2011. I'm doing a very gutsy thing again, and it might have even cost me being on the Florida ballot because I had announced that I would be boycotting Florida orange juice if they did not move their primary back. New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina are very excited about what I'm doing because they want more time to get to know the candidates. Florida, and I think conspiring with Mitt Romney and his campaign, have done a very un-American thing by moving their primary up. So, I have a website. It's boycottfloridaorangejuice.com. We're releasing a new commercial today. I'm taking on a pretty big opponent here, but I think it's important because I think the American public every 4 years has this opportunity to pick two nominees for president of the two major parties. And of course, we know Obama is going to be the Democrat nominee, but it's still very fluid, no pun intended, on the Republican side. So stop drinking orange juice for a month. Go to boycottfloridaorangejuice.com, sign our change.org petition, pass it along, put it on Facebook, do something, get involved. Let Florida know, by virtue of this and other states, they want to hear from the candidates, all 11, and not just, this little handful that they have selected. I think it's very important. I think that Buddy Romer and I, we're left off the Florida ballot now. He's a brilliant guy, Harvard-educated economist, and former governor and congressman. And, I've been in this political process a long time. I think we have a lot to add. I think we should be on the Florida ballot, which we're not, but I think it's important that people step up and support this two-party system completely. So, I've enjoyed this. This has been great. Welcome to what I'm terming the New Hampshire White House. We leased a house here. I've been in New Hampshire. This is my 22nd trip. I've spent probably about half of the last year and a half in New Hampshire, meeting the voters, walking door to door, speaking at high schools, colleges, Republican groups, you name it, anybody that would listen. And it's been an incredible experience. Something I recommend everyone who wants in his or her life run for political office will certainly get involved in it. I think it's the backbone of this country, of our democracy. We are the luckiest nation on the face of this earth for all the opportunity and freedoms we have. And I'm just very excited to be a part of this whole process.
Well, Mr. Kager, I have to say, it's an unusual pleasure in politics to get a chance to speak with someone who actually has spent their life fighting for what they believe in. Thank you for spending a few minutes today sharing your story and answering questions for us.
Thank you, Luigi. Come back soon.